If you think I can see a disappeared animal in my shamanic journey, then I actually have to disappoint you, because that's not how it works. But in this video, I will tell you why shamanic methods can still be very, very helpful when a pet, like a cat or a dog, has been missing, ran away, and how we can still find them through shamanic work, but it works differently than you might think. Hi, for those of you who are new here, my name is Maddie. I'm a biologist and author and a shamanic practitioner. And on my channel, Old Wisdom, New Life, it's about what we can learn from indigenous people in terms of spirituality, health, lifestyle, community. So finding animals that had been disappeared, English correct, that have gone missing, is a big part of my work, and it's a big part of, like, I'm very passionate about it, because shamanic methods do absolutely work in contacting animals, specifically also missing animals, but it's not the way many people think it works. Like, I'll explain to you with an example. So last week, someone messaged me, said, Maddie, I'll need your help. Immediately, my cat has gone missing. My cat disappeared. And so I need to find her because I'm leaving and I want to take her with me. So she was the previous owner and brought the cat to a new owner, but the cat immediately ran away from that place. So she didn't like it at all. And so now the owner came back in order to take the cat back with her, but she couldn't find him. So we had to work against the clock, right? Which is always a lot of pressure. But I did a shamanic journey and I saw the cats, and I saw the cat sitting underneath something. So she was hiding. She was physically okay, but she said she doesn't want to stay with the new owner. She doesn't like the place. So she wants to go back with her previous owner, and she's not coming out until she knows that this will be the case. And so that's what I told my client. I said, you know what, the cat doesn't want to stay with the new owner, and she's hiding, and she won't come out until we assure her that she will be okay and you will take her back home. And so my client told me, yes, absolutely, I will take her home. Please just tell me where she is so I can find her. And so we were really working against the clock, right? The time was ticking. And so I contacted the cat again and say, you know what, I talked to your previous owner. She'll love to take you back home, but you have to reveal yourself. We have to find you. And then on the journey, I saw a little bit more. I saw that this thing she was sitting underneath was actually like a wooden cupboard, or like a wooden, I don't know, it's like how you say, yeah, so it was like a wooden thing, like a wooden cupboard, something that you have somewhere in the house. So it looked more like, for me, that was in the house. I wasn't sure. It could have also been outside. So I told my clients, you know, I saw her clearly sitting under a wooden furniture, a wooden cupboard or something like that, or sideboard. But I wasn't sure if it's inside or outside. So this is really the example of step by step how the cat actually revealed her location to me. She was still not sure if that was the right thing to do. That's why I was not able to see the whole situation very clearly. And then an hour later, I still haven't heard anything from my client. And I was like, I'll check it again with the cat. We'll see where she is. So she was still sitting under her little place underneath the wooden thing. And I said, you know, so are you still doubting that she will take you home? And then the cat was nodding. And I said, well, you know, you won't know until you come out of your place here, of where you're hiding. And I told her also, if she's not, you know, if your previous owner is not fulfilling her promise and not taking you back home, you can always run away again, you know, and find a new place. And that was the moment where I think something clicked with the cat, and she was like, okay, I think I'm know now what I have to do. And then half an hour later, I got a message from my client. She said, I found the cat. She was in the kitchen under a wooden, or like under a cupboard, sitting there. And so she called, like the whole day she was calling the name of this cat, but yet only when I had a shamanic session with her, the cat was actually responding to her and revealing her position. I don't say that my work was the reason eventually, but it definitely helped, because then the cat could express herself. She could say why she ran away in the first place. And so this example nicely shows you that two things. First of all, shamanic methods are amazing tools to really help animals and humans as well, but specifically situations to reveal the reasons why animals run away from home, and then also find a way to communicate this with the owner, with the animals. So really having like a conversation with all of them at the same time and finding solutions in order to really bring the situation into balance again. And the second thing this story shows you is that you can avoid all this frustration, all this stress for cats, for dogs, as well as for you as a pet owner, if you use animal communication and shamanic methods in the first place. You know, we could have asked the cat in the first place, do you want to stay with your owner or do you want to go to a new person? And this is what I'm seeing over and over and over, where these shamanic methods are so helpful with really giving the animals a voice to communicate themselves and to say, this is what I want. Because otherwise we make decisions above their heads and then assuming that this is the best decision for all of them, but eventually it's not. And then we have the situations that cat or dogs or also other animals run away from home. And yeah, this is not a nice situation for all of them, for everyone involved. So yeah, this was an example of, as I said, how it works. It is really a step-by-step communication, a process that reveals itself with every step and making it clear what the animal needs in order to come back. And it's a hard truth for a pet owner to hear, that there is a reason why our animal runs away from us. And no one wants to hear that, but at the same time, it is the chance to do things better and to really finally listen to your animal and hear what it has to say. As I said, you have to distinguish between animals that really run away from home because there's something they don't like, there's a problem, or you have animals that actually like their home, but they can't come back home because maybe they had an accident, or maybe they don't know where to go anymore, like they can't find home. And I've experienced all these cases as well. Like my cat Fiona, she had an accident 2 years ago, and I immediately felt something is wrong, something is really wrong. So I did a shamanic journey and I saw her sitting somewhere and she couldn't stand up, and I felt she was pretty close actually. So I looked around in this area and then I found her sitting here in the grass just behind my house, and she couldn't move. She normally runs towards me, is really happy to see me, but this time she couldn't get up and she was clearly in shock. So that was something where, but also the shamanic methods helped me to find her and to kind of, you know, act very quickly after the accident. She's fine now, but that was definitely something this is an experience you don't want to have as a pet owner. And the other case is I also had this situation where a cat was missing. It was an indoor cat. Someone left the door open. The cat ran away outside. It was overwhelmed with the world outside, and yeah, wasn't able to find the way back home. So I saw her in a shamanic journey being completely confused and, lost, and she didn't know where she was. And I told her, like, first of all, I'll send you some powers so you'll be able to, have more strength. And then I kind of guided her back home to, give her direction and kind of like let her home really shine and pull her back home. And so she actually appeared the same evening, and her owners were really happy to see her again, and she was happy as well being at home. So this is a different situation, but in general, when the cats or the dog, when our pets leave their home, then there is always a good reason for that. So if you're in a situation, your pet has gone missing and you don't know what to do, then please see under this video. You can see there my contact information, my email, my website as well. So you can always contact me for a free consultation, just to check in and see how I can help you with the situation, and then we can work further. And if you want to know more about shamanic methods and animals in general, how this whole thing works, then you can watch this video where I explain things in more detail. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.